Are you planning on playing all the Danganronpa games? Yes, I am. At this point, I am. 100%. The fandom is scary. Bro, every fucking fandom is scary, bro. The VTuber fandom is worse, probably. I'm not gonna lie. There's so much, like, the Star Wars fandom is worse. The VTuber fandom is worse. The League of Legends fandom is worse. The K-pop and K-drama fandom is worse, bro. I think I can handle the Danganronpa fandom, all right? I've had to deal with VTuber fandom. I had to deal with Genshin or Hoyo fandom before. I think we can deal with Danganronpa fandom, but I'm not gonna say anything bad. It's more like, oh, I feel like the worst thing that could happen is I say I don't like this character, right? And someone gets mad about it. Hey, that's fine, right? I feel like that's a valid thing. Someone's always gonna get mad if I don't like their favorite character. It's just a normal part. It's like something you come to accept, right? I don't really see it as something, oh, you gotta like talk about and complain about all the time. It's just more like, yeah, it is how it is. One little piece of advice I gotta tell y'all is that people that still worry about shit like that, you will honestly just let that shit go in a matter of years once you realize, hey, it's better to just focus on optimism later in life. Because I will say this, like maybe 3-4 years ago, I was not as optimistic and whimsical as I am now, right? You guys, a lot of you guys caught me for first time meeting me as Shoto at a time of my life when I was still very unconfident in myself. But now, right, these days, I feel so much more optimistic about my outlook on what the things I do, other people, and in life. Because I was a lot more closed off, right? But I think the more you focus on the bad of things, whether that be the fandoms you talk about, the everyday life you go through, or the people around you, or the things that you don't like, you don't agree with other people with, the more the world will sink its claws into you and make you feel more bitter and bitter about every little thing. And that's what makes people more pessimistic over time. That's literally how you grow old and bitter, bro, is like you let it get to you, right? And I know it's not the easiest thing to get over. I'm not saying it's easy, right? But I try not to let it take over. And it's been doing pretty well for the past few years. I feel like I'm really happy these days, and I'm usually optimistic and happy I look forward to a lot more things these days compared to before, when I feel like I didn't look forward to a lot of things in the past, right? And that's because I stopped focusing so much on the bad of each little aspect of certain things surrounding me, the things I consume, right? Watching my older VODs is like watching a different person. I know, right? It's crazy. It really is crazy because you watch a VOD of me from 2021 or 2022, and then you maybe watch me right now, and it's so different. Those are two different people at this point. I've grown so much, right? And, you know, that's part of the maturing process, man, right? It's cool to see like that positive change on myself, and that I'm happy with the version I am now compared to like the version I am before. But I still respect the version that I was before, because that's what built me up to now too. It was an essential foundation to making me what I am now, right? As a person. I'm not even talking about streaming or careers or financial. I'm literally just only talking about my values, and that's it, right? And I think more people need to recognize that too. It's part of the process, right? And that's why I never like to. I don't like one thing about me is that you can have a different opinion about this, but it depends though. It really depends. Like if you're like some kind of serial murderer or like some type of dictator, that depends. But in general, whatever you did like 5-10 years ago, I might not give a shit, because you're a completely different person now compared to how you are like 5 to 10 years ago, right? That's just how I see things. Whenever I meet someone, I try to be very non-judgmental about their behaviors from like when they were 15 compared to when they're 25, right? Because you're a whole ass different person at 15 versus 25 years old, right? I'm not gonna hold that against you. I feel like that's just dumb to say, oh, whatever you did and said and believed in during that time clearly doesn't reflect how you are now. So I don't ever hold that against you. as a person, right? And you might not agree with me with that. You could have an entirely different opinion, right? That's all you, and I'll respect it. Okay. I try to just be more positive these days with my viewpoint on how I handle things, and it's been doing pretty good. It's been doing pretty good for my mental. It's been good for my daily life and for those around me too. So I think like it goes to I think a good proof of that is the people that I surround myself in as well. I think you guys should also consider the people you surround yourself with, because they have a high influence on how you view shit and how you think about what everything that you consume as well. It matters a lot. Having good friends and having good people around you will matter a lot, right? It's a process. It's not easy. You're gonna start off like, not hitting the mark with the right people, but over time you'll get there, right? I believe in you. It's not easy, but hey, you're gonna struggle with that, and it's fine. I think people don't want to admit that, like, how embarrassing it might be to go through that kind of like struggle, because there's a lot of pressure to get it right the first time, or like to be as perfect and not like, fumble and screw up, because people are much more critical of your flaws if you fuck up in small ways with the people you hang out with, the decisions you make, the things you say, right? You're gonna get shit on regardless, right? It's the internet. You're always gonna get shit on, right? You gotta take it gracefully, and what matters is what comes after, and if you learn from that, right? W mental health, by the way, yeah, I feel like even if I feel like I still have it put together, I would still like want to suggest, hey, if you feel like you still have your shit together, I still think a therapist is a good idea. Having someone to talk to professionally is always good, even if you don't think it's necessary, right? Like, a lot of you guys see me as a very put together person, right? And I feel like if I look at it objectively, yeah, I'm not perfect though. I never like to put myself up on like a higher level than other people and to be like, yeah, I've so much better than you, and damn, my life is so much better, and I have like, great, physical and mental. No, I hate that. I still think it's important to do shit like checkups. It's important to check in with somebody that can analyze your brain better than you can yourself without guidance. It's like, that's still important, bro. It's like, I know people that are so hesitant and stubborn to go and get like a checkup at the doctor's. Like, I know people that have gone without it for years and think they're okay, right? And I remember my trainer, right? He told me one of his clients died because he didn't know what was going on with his body, because like after the fact, when they did the autopsy on his client, they found out like he had really high cholesterol or something like that, and it caused them to get like some sort of heart attack. But on the outside, he was physically fine. He looked great, right? But it matters what's on the inside as well too, right? Like blood work and shit like that. So I'm like, yeah, that's also important. But some people don't do that, I'm like, wow, it's important too. And I might sound like, oh, I'm like, I really do feel like I sound like an old man yelling at cloud these days, even despite like, I'm not old. I just think like it's important. These things I'm just realizing a lot earlier in life. Wow, this matters a lot, dude. It's really important to check that shit out, right? I know some people don't want to, but it matters, because hey, you want to live a good life, and gotta know that shit, right? And that applies to your mental too. Besides the physical, you gotta look at what's going on in your brain, dude. There's a lot of brain chemicals in there that you can't fully understand, that does things that you don't quite like, but having somebody that's a professional that will help you, right? It's just good. I don't know, I feel like it's such common sense to me now that I feel like talking about it these days, it just feels so, I don't know, a little bittersweet, because a lot of people don't take it seriously as they should, right? But that's because the world ain't sweet. It ain't sweet to a lot of people to want to pursue that shit, especially with guys, man. Like with men, oh my lord, I really hope that a lot more men will get take their mental health more seriously, because I know there's a lot of men that I know in the VTuber sphere that still have that toxic masculinity behind closed doors and don't want to get help. I'm like, bro, I think it's pretty important to do that, despite, like, I feel it's surprising. I'm like, whoa, out of anybody, I thought like these people would definitely, prioritize that shit, but no, they don't. I'm like, damn, you'd be surprised, guys. You really would be surprised. I feel like I like talking about this stuff because it makes me feel more human. I like it when you guys see me as a person. So maybe that's why I talk about this stuff a lot more. Versus like back then, I didn't want people to see me for who I am because I was scared of that, right? Because I was hiding behind Shoto. But nowadays, I feel like I can be both, more myself, while presenting to you like this version of myself that I like a lot on as a VTuber, right? I don't feel as afraid anymore to talk about this stuff as well, because I think it's healthy. Because I already have these conversations to myself anyways. Like, there are times before I go to bed, there are times like, I just meditate in the shower and think about like, wow, how am I doing, right? So I think talking about it and verbalizing it out loud, I low-key think when I do that, it will inspire other people to do that too, because it's a good thing. It makes me happy. So I'm like thinking, wow, this is awesome. Maybe other people can do this exact same thing I'm doing right now and find some happiness through having these conversations with themselves and realizing, wait, this is good and this is bad. That's probably why I do this often. That's probably why I like just talk to myself and I have you guys listen to this little side of me. It's something like some people would argue is a little too vulnerable and like, oh, why would you share that with yourself with people on stream? But I'm like, I don't care, right? I'm comfortable, and I don't think it's not a bad thing. I'm not afraid to share my thoughts like this. I think it's just human. It feels more realistic and human to be able to be as open with yourself, with your community as well. So I like doing that, and I don't like bullshitting. I don't like hiding behind the guys anymore. Because I'll be honest, guys, I did hide behind like a lot of walls back then when I was streaming in like 2022, for example. There's like so many walls that I never showed because I thought it was like unokay. It was not okay and inappropriate to do that stuff as a VTuber or as a streamer, really. But then I'm like, wait, who made these rules? There came a time I'm like, who made this as a rule? Who said you had to do that? No one, right? I'm not gonna listen to that. Fuck that. I'm gonna do my own thing. Exactly. And it's better that way for me because I feel like I enjoy streaming more as a result of that. And I know my community better because of that too. And I feel more in tune with my community as well because of being able to be more open with myself and with them, right? Instead of like just being so disconnected and trying to hide so many different aspects out of fear that I'll be like criticized or looked at in a different way than what I want to present. But honestly, that's something that dissolved really quickly over that year, and I realized it's much more tangible and more stress-free to have everybody else, both my friends and the people that support me, to form their own opinion of me in their own way. If I can be as like true to who I am and what I do and what I like as much as possible, right? I like that. I'm very happy I made that decision. Yeah, good job, Shoto. Merry Christmas.